Cadet Vexthera pressed her scaled fingers against the observation deck's reinforced transparasteel, watching the blue-green world rotate slowly beneath their orbital Academy station. Earth hung in space like a deceptively peaceful marble, its swirling clouds masking the violent species that had recently petitioned for membership in the Galactic Defense Coalition. "I still don't understand why Command rejected their application," muttered her study partner, Zilnon, his three eyes blinking in sequence as he reviewed their xenobiology assignment. "Their technology is primitive but functional. Their fleet compositions show promise." Instructor Krellis' voice cut through their conversation like a plasma blade. "Perhaps today's simulation will enlighten you both." The veteran warrior's exoskeleton bore scars from the Andromedan conflict, each mark a testament to battles fought across star systems. "Computer, initiate human combat doctrine analysis, Protocol 7. The Academy's holographic combat chamber materialized around them, its walls dissolving into the familiar expanse of the Kepler sector battleground. Vexthera and her fellow cadets found themselves commanding virtual fleets in a standard engagement scenario, one they had run countless times with Zephyrian, Altarian, and even the notoriously aggressive Krextal forces. "Today, you face human tactical doctrines," Krell announced, settling into his observation position. "Computer, deploy human fleet patterns based on historical data from their internal conflicts." The enemy vessels appeared on their tactical displays, crude, angular ships that looked more like industrial equipment than military craft. Vexthera almost laughed at their primitive design until she noticed something odd. The human fleet wasn't forming standard battle lines or executing textbook maneuvers. Instead, they scattered. "What are they doing?" Zilnon's voice carried confusion as his Altarian tactical training failed to categorize the human movements. "This isn't a retreat pattern. It's chaos." Vexthera watched in growing horror as the simulation unfolded. The human ships didn't engage in honorable fleet-to-fleet combat. Instead, they ignored military protocol entirely. Some vessels rammed directly into her command ships, sacrificing themselves to create breaches for boarding parties. Others launched themselves on ballistic trajectories toward civilian stations in the rear, forcing her to divert defensive resources. But the worst revelation came when one damaged human vessel, instead of surrendering or retreating, deliberately overloaded its reactor and detonated itself in the middle of Vexthera's formation. The explosion crippled 3 of her heavy cruisers and scattered debris that damaged dozens more ships. "They're not following the galactic rules of engagement," she whispered, her crest flattening against her skull in instinctive fear response. Krellis' mandibles clicked approvingly. "Precisely. Humans don't fight wars, they fight for survival. Every conflict in their history demonstrates this pattern. When pressed, they don't seek honorable victory or strategic advantage. They seek total annihilation of threats, regardless of cost to themselves." The simulation continued, each scenario more disturbing than the last. Human forces used psychological warfare, targeting non-military infrastructure to break enemy morale. They employed tactics that prioritized enemy casualties over their own survival. Most unnervingly, they seemed to view mutual destruction as an acceptable outcome if it meant their enemies couldn't threaten their home world. "In the Galactic Defense Coalition, we fight with rules, honor codes, and objectives," Krell explained as the simulation ended. "We seek to minimize casualties, protect civilian populations, and achieve strategic goals through controlled force. Humans fight like cornered predators, with complete disregard for convention, honor, or even their own survival." Vexthera stared at Earth again, seeing it differently now. The peaceful blue world suddenly seemed less like a potential ally and more like a caged beast. "They requested to join our coalition to fight the Vorthan hegemony," Zilnon said slowly, understanding dawning in his voice. Krellis' scarred exoskeleton gleamed under the observation deck's lighting. "And if we accepted, we would be unleashing a species that views total war as the natural state of conflict. The Vorthan hegemony might be our enemy, but they still follow the fundamental codes of civilized warfare." "But humans don't," Vexthera concluded. "No," Krell confirmed. "Humans don't fight wars. They fight extinctions.